The work that I do is at the intersection of consciousness and human life. And what does that mean? It means that for me, there are two primary capacities or facets of reality which I seek to engage in. One is consciousness, the nature of reality, the source of your experience, awakening to that. And the other is participating as a human being. And making sense of these two realities, having them work as a coherent whole, is what I love to do. So we're going to go through that today. We're going to start with consciousness, and we're going to lead into our humanity. So, we'll start with a guided meditation. When you listen to me speak, it's always best to do this from the most embodied, grounded position that you can, to listen with your whole self, not just think about it. So we'll start with a guided meditation. So you can close your eyes and just begin by noticing your breath. You notice your breath moving through your body. And as you exhale, I invite you to relax into the weight of your body. Your body has mass, and form, and weight. And it's being pulled into the ground by gravity. This is not something that you have to do. It's something that's happening to you. It happens on its own. So in this way we can catch a free ride to being grounded by noticing what's happening. And at the same time, as you are grounded in your body, your sensations are moving because your nervous system is always cycling energy. Again, this is not something that you do. It happens on its own. We witness the movement of sensation through our body. We can also notice the movement of emotion through our body. This is part of our nervous system. And we can also notice our thoughts, our images, our mental experience. This is also energy moving through us. And again, it happens on its own. Your nervous system moves energy without you having to do that. And when you pay attention in this way, in a meditative way, you can notice your sensations move without your effort, your emotions move without your effort, and your thoughts move without your effort. And where are they moving through? They're moving through your awareness. So we shift our focus from what we are experiencing move through us to awareness. Awareness is a vast space. A sense of being awake, a witnessing. And unlike your thoughts, your feelings, or your sensations, awareness doesn't move anywhere. It doesn't change qualities. It's not passionate and desirous like your emotions. It's not judgmental like your thoughts. It's not heavy like the pull of gravity. What awareness does is it stays open. That's its job, is to be a space. And every moment of your life, this space, this non-reactive space, is there. That's why anything happens. You can't have a moment in your life without this space, without this quality. When we're focused primarily on our thoughts, our feelings, and our sensations, well, this quality of awareness is in the background. And today, when we practice, we bring it into the foreground. So we can think about this as a spectrum. All of these different aspects of ourselves coexist, like colors in a rainbow, and we can open to all of them. We can explore them individually, but today we open to all of them. One of the fundamental teaching ideas in spirituality is that acceptance is the way to be happy. Acceptance is the way to be happy. Or in negative terms, resistance to what is the root of suffering. That if you resist things that are happening, that puts you in conflict with life, and therefore you have pain. We can see the ways in which that's true. But what I like to point out to people is the acceptance that you're seeking to do, or the being at peace with the way things are that you're trying to do as an activity from a human perspective, already exists in consciousness. Human beings do not have to do or be accepting. They do not have to not resist what's happening. That's consciousness's job. Those spiritual teachings are a description of the way things are, and not so much what you should do as a human being. And we'll go through that. I'll describe this. We can look at it together. So everything that is moving through your nervous system is the experience of what is being allowed to happen. Every sensation that you have, every emotion that you have, every thought that you have, positive or negative, passes through the space of awareness with no resistance. Awareness does the work of accepting what is without you, as a human being, have to do the work of accepting what is. Awareness does a perfect job of it. Awareness can only accept what is. It can't fail at that. It's constantly doing that. And within that what is that is constantly passing through awareness, there can be all kinds of positivity, negativity, contraction, anger, jealousy, striving, longing, and yet its response is the same. It's giving the message all the time that everything is okay the way it is. Not because it says that mentally to you, but that's the experience. The experience is everything gets to move. Everything gets to be here. So this teaching about acceptance, or these teachings about acceptance, the idea of equanimity, all of these can be implicit. They are and can be implicit in consciousness itself. You don't have to do them. Trying to do them would be to put an extra effort on top of what is most authentic for you. So a good example of this is you feel angry. This is the authentic response of your body. But you say to yourself, I shouldn't be angry. I should be accepting. I should be not in resistance, because if I wasn't in resistance, I would be happy. But I'm in resistance. I'm angry, and I should talk myself out of this in some way, which is essentially to add an extra layer of resistance on top of yourself and to create a preferred experience, what you should be doing. You don't need to do that. Notice how awareness responds to your anger, your sadness, your longing, your hopes and dreams. Awareness has nothing to say about how you feel, what you think, what you are experiencing, what you want, what you don't want. Awareness can only accept you. And since you are the one that is aware, this means you are accepting yourself. But you're just doing it at a deeper level. You're not doing it mentally or emotionally. You're doing it as consciousness. You can't get this wrong. As you progressively understand this or sink into this reality, you can't get it wrong. There's nothing that you can do as a human being. There's no thought, feeling, or sensation that you can have which is disqualified. Just take a moment to see if that's true. Does your awareness judge or reject you for anything that you've ever done? So the way that we can be accepting, or the way that we can be not in resistance, is to witness this fundamental interaction between awareness and what you're aware of. The job is not to think ourselves into acceptance or feel our way into acceptance, but to notice how is awareness responding or not responding to my thoughts, feelings, and sensation. So if I want to be in equanimity, or if I want to be at peace, my activity is just to become more present to this place in myself where awareness is allowing everything to happen. I pay more attention to what is happening, and I spend less time thinking about what should or could be happening. And if I find myself thinking about what should or could be happening, as I'm experiencing that, I just shift some of my focus to see how is awareness responding to that. So the activity is to shift my focus, expand my focus, pay more attention to my own consciousness. So when we slow down together, when we inquire, when we pay a lot of attention, this can be really clarified. Meditation is a great place to witness this reality, to witness this interaction. Maybe we take another moment. We just see as we sit here in silence. Does awareness stop anything from happening? This is you being at peace with life. These moments where we witness awareness, hold space, hold perfect space for what happens, is where you are being with what is. So over time, as we really sink into this perspective, which means to sink into this spectrum of consciousness, to sink into the place where we feel energy passing through our awareness, this gets more and more clear. And what it does is it shifts our perspective on what should be. What should be becomes whatever is happening. So the question is not, how should I feel? How do I deal with this? How am I ever going to forgive this person in my life? The question becomes, how do I feel now? What am I experiencing now? It doesn't matter how I do things. What matters is, can I witness myself? Can I be present to, can I be in a right relationship with reality, which is whatever my thoughts and feelings and sensations are. And the beauty of this is not only is awareness just a space that is non-reactive, it's consenting to movement. So if we look at energy in our nervous system, when it is allowed to move, it doesn't harbor itself. It doesn't accumulate. It doesn't become solidified. The only thing in us that is solidified are the things that we haven't allowed to move yet. So as we relax into space, energy through our nervous system moves, because that's what energy does. Energy moves. So if I feel angry, my anger moves. If I feel sad, my sadness moves. Which means I'm not stuck. If my nervous system is circulating energy, I'm not stuck. Awareness knows not to react to life, you could say, because it believes in the movement of our nervous system. It believes, it knows, it's part of the truth that the movement of our nervous system is intelligent. It's not something to be fixed. It's something to be supported. When I have anger or sadness or I feel guilty, it's not for no reason. It's not an accident. I haven't made some sort of mistake. It's not because I don't see the truth in life. My nervous system is intelligent. And by witnessing my body, I can empower this intelligence to move more. More movement means more energy. More movement and more energy means that I'm more alive. More movement and more energy means that I'm a higher state of functioning as a human being and a higher state of consciousness. So as we sit here contemplating this, just notice what's coming up for you. Whatever it is, when you bring your attention to it, you are supporting it to move. And if you don't get in that way, if you don't get in the way of what is trying to live and move in you, if you can relax into it, if you can see how relaxed awareness is about it, perfectly relaxed, then the problems that you have or the things that you want, your identity as a human being is in motion. You're not stuck if you're in motion. You're on your way to your future. The way you get stuck is because there are things in you that haven't had the chance to move yet. That's what it means to be stuck. So as you sink into this deeper reality and you learn to shift your focus from what should I be doing to what is happening in me, how do I feel? You are encouraging movement in your system. You are encouraging energy to move. And in response, your body is going to speak more. You are going to feel more. Your body's going to become more expressive. Anything that you've held back in your life or hasn't had a chance to be heard is going to start to speak. And I know this because it happened to me. I guess you could say it's still happening to me, but it definitely began to happen to me, and it happens to the people that I work with. And so if you have a backlog of unexpressed emotion, perception that you have been holding from you, this feels kind of like an eruption. You discover yourself. You discover the content that you're holding. You don't know about it because you are unconscious to it, because it's hidden from you. But if you create this open space, it begins to speak. Maybe it gets drawn out of you by life. Maybe it gets drawn out of you by your children or your relationships or your job. And what you will realize is you don't need to be more at peace anymore. You already are. The things that were problems for you before, like your emotions and your pain and your anger and your all the desires that you have, stop being impediments to your life. You're not plagued by difficulties and hardships. What you are is a human being that is trying to move and live. And all the things that before were impediments actually become the pathway for you to be more alive, have more energy, and to express your potential. Which means that in some ways, negativity becomes your best friend. Everything in you that is negative or in pain or is difficult, you have the power to free it, to bring it into life, to resolve it. Which means that you have the power to radically improve your life. If you can find, you can hold space for, find, give voice to everything that you're holding inside of yourself, if you can be the place in which that moves and completes itself, then you have the power to radically improve your life. Improve your life, improve your relationships, improve your health, improve your ability to express your potential in the world, and raise your state of consciousness. And the action is, again, it's not like I mentally do this or I do this through some sort of effort. I do this just by paying more attention to how I feel. I just pay more attention to what's happening for me. And I learn to express it, to give voice to it, to participate in my human experience.